Hi everyone, this is my first attempt at doing a little video that I'll try and put on YouTube to keep in touch with the Sangha, keep in touch with other people if they'd like to know what we're up to. So yes, the Norwich Buddhist Centre had to decide to close like many other places 2 days ago, and well, we just thought it would be nice to have some live footage available so that people can keep in touch in a more direct way than just emails and more text. So yeah, I thought I'd just say a bit about my response to the coronavirus and what I'm doing in the way of practicing at home and so on. So one of the things I thought about was the 8 worldly winds. It's probably a practice that most of you are familiar with. So, yeah, that it's these pairs of opposites which we ricochet between as we hope to have pleasure rather than pain, gain rather than loss, fame rather than obscurity, praise rather than blame. And I was thinking how underlying all of those really is our hopes and our fears. And this is certainly a time of fear for everybody, but particularly for vulnerable groups, the elderly, the pregnant, and people with particular health issues. And in a way, it puts us right up against our practice about what we're really trying to do to be more aware of life and death, of the limitations of the way we're able to control or not our lives. So we have the illusion that we can set up our lives so that we can be safe, we can control everything, we can get what we want when we want. And we're living in a very fortunate time and place in Great Britain, much more fortunate than some other parts of the world. So we can take so much for granted that it can lead us to us not really thinking about mortality, our own mortality. We know that we're impermanent. We know that our life isn't going to be endless, but we only know it in an intellectual way. We don't really take it on board in an emotional way. And at times like this with the coronavirus, there's never been anything quite like it before. And we're definitely up against facing our own mortality, and particularly those that are close to us. Everything is very uncertain. So there's a lot of anxiety about, and that anxiety produces some very positive actions and some very unhelpful actions. So we've seen supermarkets with their shelves stripped of toilet rolls and other things that people are panic buying. I was very struck last night to hear that in Italy that hasn't happened at all, and there's plenty of food, plenty of things on their shelves. So for some reason they haven't got into panic buying. And also it can make one very selfish, which panic buying is about. Rather than thinking about how everybody is suffering, we become very concerned with our own suffering. But there's also a lot of good happening. And a bit like in the Second World War, where people came together and really helped each other, there's a big move for people to want to help each other at this time. A lot of people volunteering to collect prescriptions, collect food for people who are having to self-isolate. So yes, there's definitely the start of quite a community spirit, which I think will only grow. People caring more about each other, people noticing if they haven't seen somebody for a while. So in a way, we're quite behind some of the other European countries in terms of the coronavirus having its massive effect. And some of the things we can be doing at home is making use of that time and really appreciating that we don't often have time on our own. We don't often have time with the space to, take our dog for a walk and, go for walks, do some more creative things. So I would urge you and myself actually, to not get caught up in too much of, panicking, living with anxiety all the time, following the news several times a day to find out what the latest is that's going on. Because in a way, that's just feeding our anxiety and our fears. So there's a lot of uncertainty and we just don't know. I was very struck how there's a lot of asking what the government are doing about this and what they're doing about that, and really they're as in the dark as we are. We really need to have metta and kindness and trust that everybody is going to be doing their best. I mean, think of all the people in the NHS who basically are risking their lives to help everybody, to keep everybody healthy, to save the lives of those who are suffering, severe breathing problems. So, as far as I can see, the government are doing what they can, as fast as they can, to meet the crisis. So I'm going to leave it there because, as I say, this is my first attempt. If I manage to get this onto YouTube, if there are any questions that you would like, you'd like me to try and talk about, questions about Buddhist responses, if you'd like any teaching on any particular aspect of your lives that you could do with just some other input. I'm sure there will be other people putting little videos online as well. So that's all from me. My name's Vajragupta and I'm connected with the Norwich Buddhist Centre. Bye for now.